So a bit of context for this game. As always, I rant about small things like summoner spells and choice in items, sometimes runes and so on. This game, both me and Talon full cleared. He went top, I went around bot mid, and I tried getting some pressure for Lissandra in the Kassadin matchup. Now Lissandra makes a weird choice decision. I didn't necessarily agree with what he wanted to do, but nonetheless I adjusted to my mid laner. He wanted to gank top, but I mean he really wanted to gank top. See, he just went there and stayed there. My camp spawned the second time and I didn't even got to back, but as a jungler, you should always cover for your lanes if they mess up. And that play results in getting some pressure and denying some pressure for the opponent. So I end up just being around mid, while Lissandra really wanted to gank up. Like, he really wanted to gank top. Not even Garen was prepared for this. So, he kills on, and from that I am still around bot. I see Talon here, and I bait him since I know Blitz is coming, since I like to use that thing we have here called the minimap. I know many people don't use one, but trust me, it's a broken tool. So, since Blitz is roaming, that means Ziggs is alone. You see? Make a play, you lose pressure on another side of the map. So of course, Talon gets baited. We make a kill. We still try to hold the wave for Lissandra. At this point, I didn't even back. And again, Ziggs is still alone, and now Karthus Senna, which is a really strong lane or in terms of scaling, but not that strong against the hook supports, can now get some pressure. And here is the story, or well, how should I put it? The lesson from this. In Champion Select, I knew the moment I saw Ziggs hovering his champion in bot lane, he will, no matter what, play with teleport. That being said, I asked him nicely to switch from TP to heal because I knew he would get stat checked. And the thing is, no matter what you do, no matter how much you try, some players will make this mistake no matter what you tell them, no matter what you show them. And some players will insist that considering they made it so many times, it's good. I actually added the Ziggs, and he told me he played 50 games. And indeed, he did play 50 games of Ziggs with TP, and it's mostly bot lane. 50 games of making the same mistake, hinting your teammates 24/7, and nobody cares. Literally nobody cares. Well, that being said, let's just watch what happens here. So, Blitz is trying to get to lane, maybe provide some pressure. Ziggs gets 5, and Karthus is partially out of mana. I say partially since Karthus can always die for a potential 1v1, 1-for-1, and have mana that way. So here we see this special person having TP exhaust, since every once in a while people like to reinvent the wheel. And I'm sorry guys, the wheel has been invented and perfected a long time ago. You cannot change the rules of League of Legends, and in bot lane you have only 4 summoner spells viable: heal, exhaust, ignite, and potentially sometimes cleanse. And I say potentially because cleanse is so rare that I don't know how could I describe a scenario where that would be viable. I mean, people think they should get cleanse when there's Ashe in enemy team, and that's wrong. When Ashe is in enemy team, you should get heal. And you don't cleanse the perma applying frost from Ashe. And when Ashe arrow hits, bro, you've either won the lane or lost the lane. And what if Ashe arrow hits your support? What then? Anyway, so that being said, we see the very special player Karthus TPing. But look what happens when you're trying as a TP player yourself, trying to 1v1, or in this case 2v1, a champion that has stats. And bear in mind, he only has the basic support item, while he himself, Ziggs, has a Lost Chapter. Okay? So he takes damage, takes a lot of damage, and takes more damage. Here forces Blitz to walk forward in order to save him. He is forced here to take damage in order for this very special person to escape. He misses Q, and here, imagine if he had heal. Both him and Blitz survive. But instead, Blitz decides to be a hero and gives his life for Ziggs. Now, the action is not over, and if he chooses to reset in this position, considering the huge amount of time it takes to recall, he would not only lose this wave anyway, which is the sole reason people take TP in theory, he would also lose the push, since he has a cannon, and the wave would just push in blue side's direction, and from that he'd be zoned in 1v2, because Blitz is now out of the map for a while. So now he dies. And so many laners don't take into account that junglers usually look to cover their lanes. They do care about their lane state. Laners only care about junglers when it comes to you gank me now, but I have camps. Now, but we now you'll kill. Doesn't matter. Gank me now. So I'm looking towards bot. Take XP. Make a kill, potentially kill Senna. I just got 6. And now, after Ziggs, from pure ego. Imagine, guys, he said he played 50 games of TP bot. And he learned, in his opinion, that TP doesn't let him fall behind. Guess what? He fell behind. Now, instead of me getting all this wave, and then him moving on foot towards Dragon after I pushed this wave and get an objective, he now gets negative value. And to be honest, this is my flaw as a jungler and as a person. I so like to show these players. Even if I got +1 goal here, it's not that bad. I so like to show these players how wrong they are when they make these mistakes. And not worry, guys. If he fell behind, he made Blitz fall behind, and now he doesn't help get an objective. And if Senna and Cartus wanted to commit on him, he might have died with wonderful TP value. As per usual, don't play TP, useless spell, and especially don't play TP on a bot lane. It's just bad. Oh, by the way, played another game in the meantime with TP. It happens. It just happens. Sometimes you lose games. Yeah, next. Tell me what you think. Yeah.